If you're going to do an underground buried downspout system and you're looking for a video that has all the details, this is the one. I ended up on the right job with the guys, and this job threw everything at us. It had all the different things that we see out in the field. I really condensed it down. There's a lot of detail in this really short video, so don't jump around. This will help the DIYer and young contractor. Enjoy. When you lose your underground buried downspout pop-ups or 4-inch grates, the best thing to do is to take a leaf blower, go up to the house and turn your leaf blower on, run it wide open. You'll be able to blow all the water that's left in that line, because what's going to happen when the grass grows over this line, you can't daylight. So this is how basements end up flooded. This is how crawl spaces end up flooded. You want to run a blower in that line. That's the only way you're going to find that 4-inch grate or that small pop-up. When you're doing an upgrade or when you're going to do some extensions to improve your roof runoff system, this is the best practice. Find out where everything's at. It's impossible to walk around the yard with a shovel and just keep poking at the grass until you hit one of these tiny little pop-ups or tiny little 4-inch end grates. It's going to take you a long time, and that's if you ever do find it. So this is a proven way to not only find it, but go ahead and clean out that line too. Since the grass grew over it and it couldn't daylight, you know it's going to be full of all kinds of debris. This whole house improvement, where we're going to do a full upgrade on the roof runoff system, includes replacing these tiny little pop-ups that the grass just grows over top of. We're going to go with something that's going to last forever. We want a pop-up that the grass can't grow over. We don't want to risk losing these pop-ups. As soon as the grass grows over them and you can't daylight that water, it'll flood your basement or your crawl space. We're going to extend all these downspouts. We're going to use the existing line. We're going to add inline catch basins to catch all the shingle gravel. And then we're going to continue the run further away from the house. In most cases where the pop-up ended, where that downspout run ended and there was the pop-up, you can just add an inline catch basin to that existing line once you blow it clear of all debris and make sure that it's not clogged. And then you can extend another piece of pipe. You can just go ahead and extend from that catch basin out to a new and improved pop-up emitter. Another improvement to your roof runoff system when you're doing a home upgrade or a new installation, at the very end, that last 5 or 10 feet, make sure you use knife cut. You can see the men putting this white sleeve over top of the pipe. That's because that piece of pipe is knife cut. What knife cut is, it's a solid pipe, and in manufacturing, it had blades, precision cut, little slits in it. That's so after it moves all the bulk water, when you have a rain and it's moving all the bulk water, there's going to be some water left behind in the pipe. You want that to be able to leach away into the subsoil. This way in the north, it will not freeze up in the winter, or it'll help at least from it freezing up in the winter. In the south, this will help so that you don't end up with stagnant water creating a pungent odor in your yard, or maybe becoming a mosquito hatchery. So these are things that we do to improve when we're doing an upgrade of a home or a new install. This is what we do when we're doing a roof runoff system. Now, in the event that you have a pop-up that's ran way out, away from the house, into the backyard or into the front yard, and you don't want to have to dig up the last 5 or 10 feet to add this pipe, this knife cut pipe, simply turn your pop-up into a mini soak away. We have these pop-ups that are bottomless. Basically, there's literally no bottom to them. Once you remove the old pop-up, you want to dig out a large enough area around where the new pop-up is going to be installed so that you can put drainage stone around it. We had a downspout on this corner of the house that was PVC and it was all cracked and split. So we had to run an entirely new line. Solid pipe to an inline catch basin, then more solid pipe connected with an external coupler to some knife cut. Perfect downspout run. Now, always try to tie 2 downspouts into the same line. This is going to keep the line cleaner. And always tile tape all your connections. This will prevent root intrusion. Always use Y fittings when tying 2 downspout lines together. Never use a T fitting. That'll just slam the water to a stop. You want to keep the water flowing in the direction of flow. The men are using the strongest pipe in the world. This is the extra heavy-duty high-octane. There's no other pipe that's as heavy-walled as this corrugated pipe, yet it'll still make a nice arc like this. It's very user-friendly. You can see that the upgraded pop-up has drainage fabric around it with drain stone all around that bottomless pop-up. That's so that it can act as a soak-away. We couldn't put 5 or 10 feet of knife cut at the end of this downspout line, so we wanted to make sure that we installed this pop-up emitter so that any water that's left in the line after a rain will just soak away. Now make sure you always install your pop-up emitter at the dirt level, not the turf level. A lot of times people leave these sticking up too high, and then the lawnmower can suck up the lid and chop it off. Always put it down at the level that the root is at, not where the grass blades are. Now the grass can grow over this pop-up. Unlike the pop-up that we replaced, the grass won't interfere with the outflow of water. That's why we like using a pop-up with a turf restrictor plate. The grass can continue to grow over this plate, and then you can just weed whip that grass. And what's nice is you can get your hand down inside this pop-up. Makes it super convenient for inspections. Now always vent your downspout system up at the house. Just like a gas can has a vent on it, and when you open the vent, the gas pours out faster. It increases the flow. We have a gutter adapter that adapts you from your gutter downspout pipe to your underground buried downspout pipe, and it's vented. You can see how the air is vented at the top, and then it also filters out big leaves, twigs, pine cones. You don't want to clog your pipe with organic material, so catch the big stuff. Of course, your inline catch basin will catch all the shingle gravel and tree seeds and tree buds and all that small stuff. That's just going to flow right through the system. This gutter adapter, this gutter downspout adapter that takes you from the gutter downspout to the pipe, couldn't be simpler, and it's 3 things in one. It's a vent. It's also a clean out where you can open this up and you can take out the screen and you can run a garden hose through it. Super easy to maintain your system using this vented clean out leaf filter. And it also keeps out all that organic material. That way you're not faced with a clog, which will result in a flooded basement or a flooded crawl space. We want the water to come off the roof uninterrupted. We want it to flow freely to the pop-up emitter. That's why it's extremely important that we vent it and that we also maintain the system. As easy as just removing the center of that screen and putting a garden hose down in the 90 to push the shingle gravel to the inline catch basin, that's it for maintenance. Even a smooth wall 90 catches all the shingle gravel. It just falls off the roof. You got this vertical drop, and then the water slams into a 90, and it changes directions, leaving all the shingle gravel behind. That vented clean out has a nice removable screen, so it's super easy to put a garden hose down inside and just work that shingle gravel down to your inline catch basin. Now, depending on the size pipe that you install, you're going to have leftover dirt. This was a 4-inch pipe, so there's a lot of leftover dirt. A 4-inch pipe displaces a lot of area. If you put in a 3-inch pipe, you will not have to haul off site as much dirt as you've seen there. Now, if you have a jagged downspout, jagged or crimped, you're going to want to take a hacksaw or sawzall, and you're going to want to cut that off. If it's crimped or jagged where the edges are catching the leaves can't fall out and fall freely. They're going to get hung up and they're going to get caught in the downspout. Now here's a yard drain. This was a 4-inch yard drain. What we did an upgrade to the yard drain system. We basically took a turf restrictor plate. We cut the grass out, and we put the turf restrictor plate in, and then put the 4-inch grate in that. Now the grass can't grow over the yard drain. This is how you update a yard drain. We're actually replacing a 4-inch grate with a turf restrictor plate that has a grate inside of it. It's a perfect fit. The grate can be removed with a screwdriver, just easily comes out, pries up real nice if you have to get inside with a camera and do an inspection. Now, these vented cleanouts have a unique patented screen that's on a hard angle so that they can't get clogged. And the fluid dynamics is second to nothing. There's been so much engineering and time spent to get this vented cleanout leaf filter perfect. It's 3 things in one. It's a vent, it's a cleanout, and it's a leaf filter. And it's the first of its kind on the market. Keep in mind that downspouts on the garage are likely to have a pour over of the footing for the garage. Unlike a basement wall on a house, where you have a nice clean cement basement wall that goes down vertically along with the veneering on the outside of the home, garages are not like that. Usually, if you want your downspout to be nice and straight and not crooked, you're going to have to cut some of the pour over from the footing. You're going to have to chip that away. We use a cement saw, and then we'll go ahead and cut a bunch of lines in the concrete, and then we'll chip that away until we get the perfect fit. If you're a homeowner and you're a DIYer and you don't want to go through all of this, I would use 3-inch pipe versus 4-inch. 3-inch pipe does not displace near as much area, and it's really easy to run down the house, and in this case, underneath the sidewalks. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. It supports the channel. If you have any questions about yard drainage, leave them in the comments section. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood, and until the next video.